Howdy, I want to talk about Mark of the Deep, which is a mix between a roguelike and sort of a Diablo-esque style top-down RPG. So it's an action-based game that you're starting as this character that got flown up from a ship. This whole crew crashed and they all lost each other and they end up in this historic water undersea world that's been hidden. And as you're going through the game, you learn about the lore and the history of this world. You meet sorts of interesting characters and tribes that have lived here and finding out what happened to other people that had lived here before. And you're just kind of going through the motions. As you play through the game, you end up finding the crew that you lost along the way and doing missions for them, as well as missions for new characters you meet. And with those missions on top of your main mission, you're kind of completing it as you go. You can select what mission you want to do, but there isn't a map to this game. You're just kind of trying to remember where everything is, and as you proceed through the game, you'll open shortcuts back to areas that you'd been before, and there's a little hub area where all the characters end up gathering that you'll occasionally visit back as you get through one area onto the next. And there you can buy items, you can buy potions to upgrade your health, and buy items to upgrade your weapon. You also get a revolver sort of gun as well that you can use to shoot enemies from afar. As you progress through, you get abilities that allow you. As you proceed further into the game, you also unlock new abilities that allow you to proceed to areas that you couldn't before. So, in terms of combat, you're getting your butt handed to you from the beginning. Even like the first boss fight, I was struggling for a hot second there. But as you keep going and you upgrade your character, you get through the next checkpoint, the next area. So it's similar in the roguelike in the sense that, you have to keep upgrading yourself and proceeding to the next area to try it. However, you're not starting the beginning from the game and going from the beginning all over again and then replaying the same area over and over and over again. So in a sense, it's more of like a Diablo style where you're just going to different dungeons. So you're not necessarily starting from scratch all over again, but you are trying to get through the difficulty of the game. Now, what I appreciated about Mark of the Deep, though, was for somebody like me who isn't that great at these sort of games, there was an option to turn God mode on, which was nice to see for a change. And God mode basically made you invincible, and that helped me through a lot. I've been playing a lot of this game, God mode, which is super cheat zone-y, but it's helped me explore as much of the game as I could up to this point and fight enemies and monsters. And I could see even in that mode where I would have struggled, just even on an easier difficulty, having to fight those enemies. I'm not a roguelike kind of person, so to be able to have the option to kind of make those elements a lot easier for me was nice. And there's still the challenge of trying to get from one place to the next, figure out kind of where to go. Again, it's weird to have this game but no map, but even with like the quests and all that, I'm just picking up stuff as I go. I'm finding money. If it's something that's like a hidden area, if there's a sort of hidden area or a scene area off to the side, I figure out in the moment, oh, can I reach now, or do I have to wait to get back to it later? Do I want to go all the way back to get the item later? It just kind of depends. But you get certain abilities where you can get more money, or you can dodge faster. There's like a dodge roll that you can use a lot in the game as well, and upgrade how far your attack goes. So there's a variety there, and you have these little charms and trinkets that you can attach, and as you buy more, you get the ability to grow that inventory. So the more you buy, the more opportunity you have to add 2 or 3 at a time, because they each take up a certain amount of slots, and you want to unlock more slots so you can equip more of these items at a time. And those you can change at these save points. So as you're traveling through, you'll see these big stones that rise up out of the ground. That saves as your checkpoint, and that's where you can switch between all these extra accessories that you want or don't want. and you just do it that way. Having said that, I haven't come across any fast travel either. So everywhere I go, it tends to eventually lean back to the main hub area. But there are some times where I'm kind of going around a little confused to be like, do I need to go all the way back here? Because sometimes you'll hit one area and then go to a new area and not hit the hub area for a hot minute. So it's just a matter of like, oh, I want to go back. But again, there's like shortcuts there. Overall, I would say like the game is fun to play, but the world and characters are like fine. They're fine. I like the voiceovers of characters. I like the art style. And like the history of the world is mostly told through these stones that you come across that you read. But the world itself isn't like super interesting. I feel like for the kind of game this is, it feels like it's like a good experience, but it's not gonna be a super memorable one for a lot of people. I know this game's been out for a little bit. It seems a lot of people are like, yeah, it's fine. And I kind of can see where people are coming from with that. Again, for me though, I want to at least continue with it just because, again, having that ability to kind of make sure I get through the game, I like to experience it all the way through. I've been playing it for quite a while now, and I'm still having a fun enough time on it. It's a game where I can kind of play it while I'm doing something else, while I'm watching something. I could be playing it in the background, or, you know, just little sections of it at a time. I feel like playing this game for too long in one session would get kind of tiring just because of, like, the world is, like, fine. So, you know, again, if you want an easier thing that's like a roguelike, but not really, check this game out. It's worth, you know, taking the time for. If you're more into the straight roguelikes or the straight up full Diablo, then this game's probably not going to be for you. It's an amalgamation of both together, but it doesn't do each of those elements like great. It does it fine. You're going to have other games out there that already do this kind of stuff that are better and that you'll have a more fun time with.